This was one of the most intense and interesting pre-rifts that I've attended for Riftbound, and the reason why may surprise you. This is the Vendetta pre-rift, and I was able to get the Zed pre-constructed deck. I personally enjoy the draft format and the sealed format of Riftbound more than the standard format. It's more casual and I get to enjoy playing with my friends. For this particular event, while we don't get the craziest pulls, spoiler alert, we do run away with the tournament by placing first, second, and third as a group. Following the opening of these packs, I'll show some games and crucial moments of the matches that allowed me to either get the win or the loss. And one of the matches was a lot closer than you'd expect.
You disempower it to discard a card, draw a card.
One of the cool things that I really appreciated during this tournament was that the owner, Steve, was helping us out with understanding some of the mechanics that are coming out in this new set, such as flow, burn, and power. Yeah, that's how you want to accelerate. They got assault. Yeah, it has a crazy. It's not the most. So the card we're talking about here is this Zed card, which says that when I conquer, play a 0 might shadow clone unit to your base, and then that one has assault 4 when it attacks. It's kind of a hard card to play around in this format because it requires you to not only summon that Zed, but also conquer with it, and then also you have to banish a card, or banish a unit, actually, to get the assault 4 on your shadow clone. Oh, dude, that's a good one too. I think that's might be an expensive one.
How does it work with signature spells? I don't have to play both colors. I just have to be playing one of the colors, or do I have?
So you have to be playing both colors, but you don't need to have you don't have to be that leader.
Okay.
So in this case,
I couldn't
play
play
red, green,
Well, I
and
could
blue.
play both if
Yeah.
I played both.
For this next pack, you'll see me pull Up from the Deep. It's a card that lets you play 2 tentacles. And this will be one of the crucial cards for one of my matches coming up. So just keep an eye out for that one. I think it's a really average card, but it was kind of one of the saving graces for one of my matches.
It's to help previous sets. So it'll be good in like this year.
As we wrap up this last pack, you can see I didn't get a lot of good pulls in my pack. I mean, one of the best pulls here is going to be this Wind and Ghost card that actually ends up coming into my deck later, and this Forgotten Relic that I did play for one match, but then it was removed. So now we'll cut to the games.
I'll just tap 3.
Okay.
Play 4.
For game 1, I'll be playing against Steve, the owner of the store, and he ends up playing Shen. Now, one of the cool things about the Shen card is that it basically allows you to make a unit you have a tank, and paired with his battlefield, which I don't think he gets to play here, but any tank at that battlefield gets +1 might, which is a big tide turner for this deck. And a big goal of the Shen deck is to have 2 units constantly at every single battlefield. So one of the things I'm trying to avoid here is losing a early and then allowing him to play a hidden Disciple of Shen.
Pay a green power.
Nice.
Turn down, and here we go.
Cool. I'll awaken my runes.
As we cut further into the game, you see that that plan has completely failed, and he owns now both battlefields and has an Akali at one of them, a Shen and a Poro at the other, and I believe he just hit a Disciple of Shen on the other battlefield, which is a pretty strong card when hidden. If there's only one other unit on the battlefield, it gets shield +3, I believe, so making it a 4 might card overall.
I guess you just want to deal the 2 extra if I have anything.
Yes.
Assuming that's the.
Yes, I know that the Shen precon comes with.
I mentioned Key Barrier here because it's like one of my most hated cards. I've lost to my friend Jake here, who is also playing in this tournament because of Key Barrier. It's a card that protects the next 7 damage to be dealt to a unit, and once that damage resolves, if you don't have the overkill damage, you get bounced back to your base, which is a very frustrating mechanic.
To banish, you really need the Zed clones.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's the only problem with Zed and precon.
I'll go in.
So here I'm finally attacking with a couple of units into his Shen, hoping to either kill it or get some sort of board control back. His base only has 1 unit in it, so he doesn't have too much attacking power next turn. Hoping to kill this Shen without a Key Barrier, kind of gambling on it. I think what ends up happening here is that he plays a Soul Spinner as a reaction, but I think this is still too much might for him to handle, and he ends up losing that trade regardless. I think it's still very close. Unfortunately, my phone recording did not save for the remainder of this match, but we did end up just trading more units back to back until somehow I ended up winning the match. So currently, as of this match, my record is 1-0. In this next game, I'll be playing my friend Jake, and we've decided that I'll be going first. He originally opened the Nasus pre-con, but he is playing Mbessa here because it's a lot better just as a legend. I think one of the biggest mistakes that has happened in this match was right here, where you can see I have a pretty strong Zed with a couple of Pendulum Blades attached to it and a Cloud Drake, and I decided to go into the left blank battlefield instead of just trying to wipe as many units as possible that he has in the right battlefield. Had I chosen to do that instead, maybe the outcome would have been different. I think I was up on tempo at this point, but as you'll see in the next clip, he just has way too many units for me to take over on that side. And as it stands right now, his score is 7 points to my 7. It was a pretty dead even game, but had I traded into his units earlier in the game, I think it could have been a different outcome.
So 5 and 5 into 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, damn, I'm sure like $400. Like I did that 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, okay, well, let's split.
5 and 5
I'll
into
list
6.
everything.
I'll do my 6 damage.
I list everything on TCG play like that I could.
Does that-
And then I looked at the
Kills?
next night packs, and I'm like,
And you'll do your damage
I'll list
to...
like exactly what.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the worst card in the format, Key Barrier, preventing the damage that I would have dealt to him, letting him survive, gets bounced back. He uses the Mbessa Legend ability to exhaust it, disempower it, ready the unit, go back in with the extra protection, and he is able to then kill me and then conquer both battlefields and then win the game. Coming up on our last match here, it's against my friend Alex, and it's a mirror match using the Zed decks. To cut it short, I didn't really have a great opening. He had way more tempo than me, but at the end of the game, something that might surprise you happens.
I'm telling you, they need a mobile app that does all this for you. 16 in a cannon stun? Yeah. Or is it? It's that Vendetta.
So here we see he almost has an unbeatable board. He has this Shen Yellow Legend, the Cannon Stun, a couple of other 4 to 6 might units, and what I tried to do here is remove his Shen by sending it back to base with that card I mentioned earlier in the video. Actually, I sent it back to his hand and not the base, and then he does have the Cannon hidden, revealed, but it does not stun, which is huge for this combo. So what ends up happening here is I win the combat, he trades into my Zed, and then my Shadow Clone and 2 Tentacles are alive on both battlefields. Now we move into the end of the game where he's trying to conquer, it looks like 6 Tentacles on the left battlefield, and what is crazy here is that despite removing a lot of my units, he's still not able to kill the Shadow Clone on the right, which is then able to hold into the next turn and then win me the game, even though it has 0 might, which is the craziest way that I've ever won a game of Riftbound so far.
Did you?
I think that might be it. I need a top deck. I had 3. Soul Spinner? No, I wouldn't.
Soul Spinner is a reaction. Alright, tell me a little bit about what happened today.
We had a good night. We had a private Rift event. Just me, Dari, and Jake. Nothing else. Had 3 solid losses, sadly. Through 2 of my games. Can't really complain. It's my fault.
What deck did you play?
Played Zed. Shadow Zed.
What are you eating?
Mike's calzones.
You're close up.
Alright, final verdict on the game. I won 2 and lost 1 against Jake. Jake won 3-0. He won 2, but he lost the one against the owner of the event. And then Bug went 1 and 2. He won the one against the owner, and then the lost 2 against me and Jake. Thanks for watching.